Hello friends, welcome back to Cloud Pedagogy. As we have discussed in the last session, we can add certain pieces of AWS services so that we can improve our student directory application. In today's class, we will discuss about Route 53 and also discuss how we can enhance our application with this feature. Let's recap our student directory application. Before implementing Elastic Load Balancer, we were stuck with memorizing long list of IP addresses to access the EC2 instances. Let's say you have memorized the IP addresses of student directory website or services you most frequently visit. Actually, in AWS, if you reboot the instance, it will keep the same IP address. But when you stop or start your instance, the IP address will change. Unfortunately, it's not possible for us to reassign the address to your instance as that address would have been released back into the pool used by other EC2 instances. So, what would happen then if those IP addresses keep changing? Suddenly, the IP address you have memorized will no longer lead you to the content that you want. But after implementation of Elastic Load Balancer, we have only one DNS URL to remember, which distributes the network traffic to all our student directory applications. Basically, DNS translates the domain name with the right IP address, in our case EC2 instances. If a DNS cannot translate the domain name with the right IP address, you won't be able to access the website you are looking for. But we have the DNS already. But why are we talking about Route 53, isn't it? So why do you think we need Route 53? Both Route 53 and Elastic Load Balancer are used to distribute the network traffic. These AWS services appear similar, but there are minor differences between them. Elastic Load Balancer distributes traffic among multiple availability zones, but not to multiple regions. Route 53 can distribute traffic among multiple regions. In short, Elastic Load Balancers are intended to load balance across EC2 instances in a single region, whereas DNS load balancing, which is Route 53, is intended to help balance traffic across regions. Route 53 policies like geolocation may help direct traffic to preferred regions, then Elastic Load Balancers route between instances within one region. Both Route 53 and Elastic Load Balancer perform health checks and route traffic to only healthy resources. Route 53 weighted routing has health checks and removes unhealthy targets from its list. However, DNS is cached, so unhealthy targets will still be in the visitor's cache for some time. On the other hand, ELB is not cached and will remove unhealthy targets from the target group immediately. Next, Route 53 uses policies. Elastic Load Balancer's duty is to distribute traffic to instances while making sure that the instances are healthy. Also, to make sure your application is always available. Whereas Route 53 has many functionality which are called policies, and they are like simple, weighted, latency, failover and geolocation. These make Amazon Route 53 is a highly available and scalable domain name system web service. Finally, user-friendly DNS name. Route 53 gives you alias name for your DNS. In our case, Elastic Load Balancer DNS URL is not user-friendly. It's mixed with numbers and long list of mixed alphabets. Amazon Route 53 offers a special type of record called an alias, which lets you map your zone apex, like example.com DNS name to the DNS name for your ELB load balancer, which is mixed of alphabets and numbers. That's good. You got to know the difference between them. So, how do you decide which one to use for our student directory application? You can use both Route 53 and Elastic Load Balancer. Route 53 provides integration with Elastic Load Balancer by default. You can use both Route 53 and Elastic Load Balancer in your AWS infrastructure. If you use AWS resources in multiple regions, you can choose Route 53 to balance the load among those regions. Inside the region, you can use Elastic Load Balancer to load balance among the instances running in various availability zones. You can use Route 53 to perform three main functions in any combination. First, domain registration, DNS routing, and finally health checking. If you choose to use Route 53 for all three functions, be sure to follow the order with registering domain names, route internet traffic to the resources for your domain, finally check the health of your resources. In the register domain names, your website needs a name such as example.com. Route 53 lets you register a name for your website or web application known as a domain name. In the route internet traffic to the resources for your domain, when a user opens a web browser and enters your domain name, for example example.com, or subdomain name like cp.example.com, in the address bar, the Route 53 helps connect the browser with your website or web application. Finally, you will check the health of your resources. Route 53 sends automated requests over the internet to your resource, such as a web server, to verify that it's reachable, available, and functional. You can also choose to receive notification when a resource becomes unavailable and choose to route internet traffic away from unhealthy resources. So that's all about Route 53. In the next session, we will implement these concepts in practice with our student directory application. Hope it was interesting and helpful. See you again in my next session. Until then, take care.